Welcome back. Happy to be joined now, as we are on every Tuesday, Michael Chamberlain from Turf Paradise. Good morning, Michael.
Morning, Seth. How are you doing today?
Very good. And for folks who are going to play turf this afternoon, what's the weather look like?
Well, we're going to have 67 degrees and some overcast skies. We are expecting to get some rain maybe tomorrow, either at some point later in the day or on into the evening. But we have some rain coming this way, but not today. We're going to have fast conditions today at Turf Paradise, but the temperature only in the mid-60s. So a little bit of a downturn in the temperature, but still looking forward to some good racing today.
Well, I want to go back, expecting rain and perhaps overcast skies. I went to the Turf Paradise Facebook page last night, and it was either Friday or Saturday. Man, you had weather move in, and it just like a very visible front come over the track with dark clouds and a very good separation between the dark and the clear sky. Kind of moved in and made the track off. As I say, it was either Friday or Saturday. Really a strange looking kind of weather situation.
It was, and those pictures were fantastic. And I'll tell you, what happened was right before the last race, that just started hovering right over the racetrack, and we had just a very nice rain shower come down throughout the last race, and then the lightning and thunder started to come from those clouds, and we all hustled out of there. We're very glad it was the last race of the day, and we didn't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, really funny looking. We put a couple of those shots up on the screen where, as I say, you can see the very definite delineation between the bad weather and the good weather as the front moved in. Also, if I'm not mistaken, is there an early post time today?
Yes, we have 9 races on the program. We are going to run at 12:25 local time. So we're 2 hours difference from the Eastern post time right now. So it's 2:25 in the East and at 11:25 in the Pacific.
All right, so for folks playing Turf Paradise this afternoon, keep that in mind. Let's take a look at a couple for this afternoon and get some ideas. Race number 6 at Turf Paradise this afternoon. It is a maiden claimer at the $7,000 to $8,000 level, 3-year-olds and up, going 5.5. What were your thoughts in the 6th?
Well, my thoughts here, there are 3 horses I think that kind of stand out above the others. The 2 Tough Trinket, the 6 Lady Swan, and the 8 Street Candy. And I elected to go with the 6 in here, Lady Swan, based on the fact that you get Skylar Whiteshield in the saddle, a former apprentice jockey of the season here at Turf Paradise, who's still winning races very successfully here in his second go-around. And the trainer, Bryce Gale, has actually won at a 17% rate so far this season and 10% overall for the year, whereas the trainers of the other 2 horses, Tough Trinket and Street Candy, Ardell Saylor had a very high win percentage for 2014, but is 0 for the season so far here at Turf Paradise, looking to get that first win. And Tough Trinket is trained by Dick Hall, who is 0 for 42 before yesterday. He got his first win of the season here at Turf Paradise yesterday. So I'm going to go with the 6 Lady Swan, based on some good recent races, a 3rd here at Turf Paradise with Lesser Maiden Claiming Company November 30th, and a 2nd over the teed up at Golden Gate back in October. Some decent works as well, and I'm going to go with the 6 Lady Swan in race 6.
And when you're handicapping, let me ask you for this kind of a scenario. This is a horse that started in Maiden Special Weight Company, then was in some 8,000 maiden claimers, moved to Turf Paradise, and a good 3rd when dropped down to the 5,000 maiden level. Goes for 8 today. I like those confident moves up off a decent effort. You know, came to Turf Paradise, a nice 3rd, and now that confident move up to me is a bonus.
Absolutely, I agree, and I think that the move up and as you say, and the connections with this horse, I think give it a really strong shot in what's not the strongest spot on the card, but I think it's part of the pick 5 especially, and it's the first leg of the 50-cent pick 4 to end the program. You can use those 3 with fairly good confidence and hopefully pick up a good start to your pick 5, or your pick 4, I should say, or keep your pick 5 going.
All right, let's move on to race number 8 at Turf Paradise this afternoon. 6,250 conditional claimer, non-winners of 3 lifetime, 3-year-olds and up. They're on the grass at 1 mile and a 16th. What did you think in the 8th?
I'm going to use number 3, Tail Be Told, the Robertino Diodoro trainee. This horse has run 2nd in each of his last 2, including at this level on the turf last time out on November 28th. Now you're getting an extra furlong here off of that last try. That last race was 7.5 furlongs. This one's going to be about a mile and a 16th. With the rail out at 14 feet today at Turf Paradise. But if you look at the way that the race progressed on November 28th, this horse was closing and probably needed just a little more ground in order to get there. And so we're going to go with that extra furlong and hope that Robertino Diodoro has this horse on go today. And tail be told in race 8 is going to be my choice.
And if we get 3-1 on a Diodoro horse, I'll be all over that myself. And certainly, if you get that in that, the horizontal wagers, that is a huge bonus. We'll see how that works out. Michael, before we let you go, I want to ask, because I saw there was a quarter horse race on the card today. Over the weekend, there was some quarter horse stakes action. I think I've asked you this before, but I want to hit on it again. When you're calling a quarter horse race, what's the difference between that and a thoroughbred race? And what template do you come at it with as far as how you go through the field? Because you can't give it more than a couple of shouts between the start and the finish at a quarter horse race. So what is your thought pattern going into those?
Well, usually I try to make sure that I have a good eye on, I look at the tote board and see who the favorites are and try to focus on those horses at the start. And if any of them do happen to, get off to a good beginning or get off to a good start, then I can focus on those horses for a good chunk of the race, because, as you said, there's not a lot of time for them to let a lead that they might get at the start slip away. So you know that they're going to be there or should be up with the leaders all the way through a quarter horse race. And, basically, I usually go ahead and name maybe 3 or 4 horses through the early stages, and I tend to get a little fast anyway, and I always have to kind of think to myself to slow down when I'm calling a race. And that actually, when I called the races at Vernon Downs this past summer, that really helped me out, because I was going way too fast for the harness races, and I had to slow myself way down. And in order to do that, that really helped. But in the quarter horse races, I have to kind of get back into that rat-a-tat style, and I use, I try to go as quickly as possible and get through as many horses as I can at the start. And I usually get about 3 or 4 in when I have to come back up to the front and kind of dive into the finish. And usually it's either a photo or, it's usually a pretty close finish in those quarter horse races. So they're very exciting.
Yeah, and I never thought about that. That's the other end of the scale on the harness side. The quarter horse race is bingo bango. The harness side, of course, a thoroughbred mile race, you're looking at maybe a minute 36. A harness mile race, you're looking at around 2 minutes. So it slows things down. And yeah, if you're calling at thoroughbred pace, you're ahead of yourself.
Absolutely, that was one of the things that I had to adjust most to when I went up there this past summer, was just getting myself in line with the pace that the horses were going. I was going way too fast, and by midsummer and into the tail end of the season, I had really gotten myself to where I was much more confident and comfortable with the pace that I was calling the races at, and I thought it worked out pretty well, and we had a good season up there, and and that's actually helped me with the thoroughbred calling too, because now I do try to maintain that even pace and even keel throughout the race, and I don't really get I think at least I don't get too fast in certain sections of races that I used to get really quick in and kind of maybe lose where I was.
Yeah, that's interesting. And as I'm thinking about it, you're probably one of the few race callers that over, what is it, a 1 or 2 month span, probably a 1 month span from the time you left Vernon to the time you started announcing at Turf Paradise, covered 3 different breeds.
That's true. Yes, we went harness, we went quarter horses, we went thoroughbreds. The only thing that we're missing in there were Arabians, and greyhounds, and I've done those before in the past too. So we have a little bit of everything on the resume.
Yeah, very good, very good. Michael, as always, we appreciate the visit this morning. We wish you good luck this afternoon, and of course, we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Seth. We'll talk to you again next week.
All right, Michael Chamberlain from Turf Paradise.